food supplies start getting low, or water supplies start getting low. And who determines who gets fed that day or doesn't get fed that day? Is it all the top ranking guys that get fed and get to drink water every day? And the rest of the guys down all the way down to the bottom, they don't get their share? Hello everybody, welcome back to the homestead, the mud puddle. Early evening, the sun just went down. I'm making my afternoon rounds. Last night the dogs were barking like crazy. They were towards the south side of the property. For those of you that have been following, we fenced off the main part of the property, 3 acres. That's what we fenced in to keep the dogs in. So they're not allowed to go out beyond those 3 acres. But anyway, they were barking all night. So I'm up here kind of looking around to see if I could see anything, you know, it's not normal. I did see a jackrabbit. I got my phone out, but by the time I got it set up, it was gone. I couldn't find it anymore. But anyway, whenever the dogs hear or see a coyote at night, all 4 dogs will howl, and that's how we know that there are coyotes in the area. But they weren't howling last night, they were just barking. I don't know what they heard or what they saw, but anyway, it's a good thing to have dogs around, guys. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Help me out, and don't forget to like. That will help out my little channel. Let me show you the sun. It just went down. Right next to that mountain. Anyway, guys, I wanted to make a real quick video. I want to talk about Texas. And the reason why I want to talk about Texas is because I have many, many relatives in the state of Texas. All the way from the southern border, all the way to the top of the panhandle, left and right, all over Texas. So I want to know your take, you guys, on the situation in Texas. Is this the beginning of a civil war? You know? And I don't care what side you're on, guys. I don't want to start an argument with anybody. I know where I stand, and that's all that matters, and whatever you think doesn't matter to me. All right, my wife and I are out here doing our thing, trying to get prepared, and you know, just to do our thing, you guys. And my wife and I have tried to distance ourselves from government as much as possible. And I know we're still under the government's thumb. You know, I still have to file my taxes every year. I still have to pay property taxes, etc., etc. You know, and I'm sure government knows exactly where I'm at, guys. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter that you're trying to hide out from government or from, you know, from whoever. I'm pretty sure the government knows exactly where I'm at. So it is what it is. Anyway, guys, back to Texas. Just want your take on it, guys. You know, personally, I believe the governor did the right thing. And his defense is the Constitution. And the way I see it, he's right. This administration is not doing its job to take care of its people. And the problem is, guys, when it comes to national security, politics should never be involved. And that's the problem here, guys. Politics is involved. Think about it. If you're at home protecting your family, there's no politics involved. If someone tries to break in, you know, you protect your family, and that's the bottom line. And that's how it should be with the United States, but it's not. I just want to know from you folks how you feel about what's going on in Texas. I want to bring up Hollywood real quick, guys. Hollywood, I'm amazed at Hollywood how they can sometimes predict what's about to happen. And I don't know if they just know the right people, all the top guys when it comes to Hollywood or what. But anyway, back in 2016, there was a movie that came out. The name of that movie's Pandemic. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. A few years later, 2020, the pandemic hit. A lot of similarities to that movie and what happened. So now Hollywood is putting out a new movie. It's scheduled to be released in April. 3 months, I guess, from now. Believe it or not, the name of that movie is Civil War. And it's about a modern day civil war. Texas is involved, California is involved, I believe Florida. Anyway, if you get a chance, go to YouTube and check out the trailer. But I'm just amazed how Hollywood puts out movies. They're either fantasy movies or sci-fi movies. But a lot of times, guys, some of these movies, it kind of turns into reality, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Great old Hollywood. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think about Texas. Someone sent me a message asking me if I belong to a prepping community. And I'll quickly give you my take on prepping communities, guys. This is how I feel, and this is just my opinion. Prepping communities, okay? Yes, I understand. We all know safety in numbers, okay? That makes sense. We all know that. Let's just take, for example, let's say there's 50 individuals in a community. And, just like any military, any group, there has to be some sort of ranking system. You got your top dog, your leader, and then, all the way down the line. And yes, safety in numbers. What happens if the leader makes a decision or choice about something and someone else doesn't agree with it? That person's going to confront the leader and say, hey, I don't agree with this. So the point I'm trying to make is that conflicts may arise, you guys. If the leader makes a decision that isn't the right one, other people are going to confront him and ask him. So I believe that'll just open a whole new can of worms. Someone else said, well, it's an equal thing. If you belong to a community, it has to be an equal thing. Everybody's equal. Okay, yeah, I understand that. I get that. And it may start off at that. It may start off like that. But eventually, somebody's going to want to be top dog. It's just natural, guys. It's just human nature. So I believe in the end, it may cause more problems than it's worth. What happens if food supplies start getting low or water supplies start getting low? And who determines who gets fed that day or doesn't get fed that day? Is it all the top-ranking guys that get fed and get to drink water every day? And the rest of the guys down all the way down to the bottom, they don't get their share? Things like that, guys. And that's what I think about. But that's my take on prepping communities. Sounds like a good idea. You all work together. Everybody hunts together. Everybody builds something together. But eventually, guys, just like with any other group, someone steps out and wants to be the boss. Someone steps out and wants to be the leader. And eventually, there's going to be a breakdown. Human nature. Which brings me to a related topic. Someone else was talking about this the other day on YouTube. Your neighbors. We have neighbors out here. They're few and far between, but every once in a while we run into each other and we chit-chat a little bit. Be careful, guys. Be careful what you tell your neighbors. How much information do you want to give them? Do you want to let them know everything you have or don't have? Or, I think it's best to be a little private about those kinds of things. And the reason why, if all hell does break loose, if shit hits a fan, as they say, your neighbors may be your biggest threat. They will be the first ones at your door because they know you've got this and you've got that and whatever. So be careful, guys. If you mingle with your neighbors, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you may want to be a little careful about how much information they know about you, especially during these times. All right? Normally, it doesn't matter. But just be very careful with neighbors. Don't show off too much. Don't let them see what you have. You don't need to be bringing out all your weapons and laying them out on the bed, showing off to everybody. because one day those neighbors may want those weapons. So back to Texas. You know, I just find it incredible that the United States government is threatening military action against Texas if they don't comply. And I just don't get it, guys. So many people have crossed the border. We all know this, guys, millions of people. About a week ago, most of you probably heard the story. There were some individuals down by the border, I think it was Texas, and they confronted another individual, a border crosser. And in broken English, this individual said, "You don't know me yet, but you will soon." Something to that effect. I'm sure I didn't quote him correctly, but something to that effect. And he said it, you know, kind of like in a demeaning manner, you know, attitude, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, someone was able to figure out who this individual was, and apparently he's from the Middle East somewhere, I'm not sure where, and he has just been released. He spent, I believe, 15 years in prison and was released about 2 weeks ago. And here he is already at the border, and now he's inside the United States. And he's been convicted of several crimes, including terrorism. And he's here now because of the open borders. And that's just one example, guys. We've all heard of, you know, the gotaways, you know, individuals that have been identified as threats, and so many that have gotten away, that have escaped into this country, and we don't know where they're at. We've all heard this, guys. This isn't news. Everybody's heard this, all right? We've all heard of sleeper cells. Many believe there's thousands of sleeper cells already here, guys, ready to pounce. And this is what happens, guys, when we show weakness, and that's the problem. The whole world is laughing at us. We're no longer looked at as strength. No longer, guys. I really wish that Arizona would do what Texas is doing. And I believe it would kind of snowball from there in a good way. But that's my take on Texas, guys. For any of my relatives that are watching, I want to say hello. I hope all is well. Take care of yourselves. Be vigilant. Don't back down.